a delight seeing, a good number of young people joining us from different part of the country on this Sunday evening. And welcome Professor Dr. Anupama for this session. And we will also be joined by our Executive Dean, Dr. Srijit. But first and foremost, why we are doing this session for young people is particularly to tell them about a law school is not just about a LLB or a BA LLB program. It's not just about law degrees. And traditionally, it has always been in our country that a law school means a law degree. We departed from that. We challenged it. In 2020, we started a BA Honors in Legal Studies, which is like a BA Law program. And almost 500 students today are studying BA Honors Legal Studies. Well, they will graduate in 3 years and earn their BA Honors degree before taking the next decision whether to pursue law or to go for other options. In the same league, I will say these 3 new programs, BA Honors in Human Rights, BA Honors in Gender Studies, and BA Honors in Criminology and Criminal Justice. The 3 programs after class 12 are unique and another major experiment and innovation from Jindal Global Law School in the field of higher education and legal education. In some way, on the eve of Independence Day, when we are all set to celebrate it tomorrow, issues like gender and human rights and also criminal justice are central to our country's rule of law system. If we do not have a proper understanding as well as an enforcement system to ensure the protection of human rights or to ensure equality of gender in all ways, as well as a strong criminal justice system, we are not going to be a great country. We are not going to be a great society. And therefore, these undergraduate programs, the 3-year BA Honors in Human Rights or a BA Honors degree in Gender Studies or a BA Honors degree in Criminology and Criminal Justice, aims to create individuals, professionals in a specialized field who develop themselves at the vanguard of particularly these areas, as well as they have an option to, in a way, explore other possibilities, other options, or even the option to say study law and become a lawyer or an advocate or a legal professional in future after completing a BA Honors degree. They can think of doing an LLB degree as well at Jindal Global Law School. So I would like to invite Dr. Anupama Sharma, our program director, and in due course, our executive dean, Dr. Srijit, will also join, and who has been like one of the architects of these 3 programs to share his views. But over to you, Dr. Anupama.
Thank you, Professor Mishra. I hope I'm audible. Right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. I'm Anupama, the program director for the new BA programs at Jindal Global Law School. So the 3 new BA programs are basically an answer to the need of the hour. The traditional undergraduate programs that we have been seeing for so long, they offer a more generalized approach to the different fields of law, different fields of study. Now, with BA Honors in Human Rights, Gender Studies, and Criminology and Criminal Justice, the aim is to offer a specialized focus to these 3 essential fields of study. Now, in today's world, as much as it hurts to accept, crime is an undeniable reality, and it's constantly changing its form and expanse. Now, the response to crime has to be at a similar pace to keep it regulated, be it in terms of regulation, investigation, forensics, law enforcement, technology, correctional services, and many more things. At every level, there is a huge scope for reform and expansion. Now, closely connected to this are the human rights. Now, human rights are the most basic fundamental rights that we as humans have. And often there is a huge gap with rights which are there on paper and the rights which are there in practice. Now, be it education, be it workplace, business, food, shelter, the presence and importance of human rights is growing with time. And when the need grows, so does the opportunities for professionals in this field. Similarly, the awareness with respect to gender, as you must have observed in the movies lately, in the advertisements, and the associated aspects with gender, they have seen a much needed growth. There has always been a requirement to discuss these topics more and to have more awareness, and now is the time to do it. There is scope for further, in fact, there is a lot of scope for further research and development in the same. Now, the beauty of these three fields is that not just they are so much important for the nation as such, but also globally. These are the topics that have relevance at a global level. Now, if we talk about the national level, the development of a nation is impacted by its ability to address the existing crime, by its compliance with human rights, and as well as how much awareness and acceptance they have towards the gender and the related aspects in a society. All these factors play a very crucial role. So by being involved in these fields, you are progressing towards contributing towards the development of the nation at large and maintaining peace, law, and order at a larger level. Now, this makes these programs immensely important and progressive in nature. I personally belong to the legal field and my interest lies in criminal law. Honestly, if I were given an opportunity in my decisive years to pick a specialized undergraduate program like these three are there, I would have definitely made the choice of picking up criminology because that suits my interest. Now, the idea of specialized studies being introduced at postgraduate level may not always match with the need of the hour. If you are already sure, you have your focus clear, your interest is clear, then you can strengthen your career trajectory right from the day one by being part of an undergraduate program that will give you an understanding of how the advanced versions of the same study would look like. Now, in these programs, the subjects that are offered, the way Professor Srijit and the team, they have beautifully designed these programs. The idea has been to provide a fundamental understanding of all the essential aspects of these different fields of study. For example, in criminology and criminal justice, there are courses like criminal psychology, fundamentals of criminal law, so you get a hint of law as well, penology, which deals with punishments, victimology, forensics, police governance, criminology research, etc., many more. There are 6 semesters and there are 5 to 6 subjects in every semester. So there is a long list of subjects that are being offered. Similarly, in gender, there is gender and sexuality. There is focus on feminist studies, also on men and masculinity studies, queer studies, gender research methodology, caste, race, and gender, and the list goes on. In human rights, disability and human rights, constitution and human rights, business and human rights, if you will realize how businesses have responsibility towards the environment that they're if their business involves an activity which will harm the environment or wherein they are affecting the nature or any other aspect of it, they have few responsibilities to protect the human rights. So there's business and human rights, there's environment and human rights, rights of children, human rights and gender. So these are just few examples that I'm giving you. There's a long list, as I've already mentioned. Now, when you get an opportunity to study from the best of the faculty, these different aspects of an already specialized field, because this is not a general undergraduate program. We are already talking about an undergraduate program or 3 programs where there's a clear focus. Now, within this clear focus, there are so many bifurcations, there are so many different aspects which are also covered in detail in these programs. You get an understanding of where I want to go after this. You get an understanding. In fact, few of the courses will also introduce you to the advanced version, like advanced victimology. Will not just teach you victimology, like the study of victims, but also the advanced version of it. So you do get an understanding of how to proceed on this further, how further this, what lies if you want to build a career in that field in long run. Now, the way the teaching pedagogy has been kept or the way the curriculum has been designed, there is a special focus on ability enhancement courses, on skill enhancement courses. There is, of course, there are core courses which are compulsory to be done. Then there are excellent electives that are offered. So students who would want to, at times the electives are such which are interconnecting two different fields. So it might be very much interesting to learn something which is interdisciplinary. As it is, these courses do have an interdisciplinary touch to them. It may make a lot of sense, and it may interest a lot of students to explore these electives that are offered as part of these programs. Now, as I mentioned in the description of the importance of these courses, I said that often there is a gap between the rights that are offered on paper and how things work in practice. I'll share my personal example. So when I was a law student, we were studying criminal law. We used to do prisoners' rights and a lot of other things, that so many rights have been laid down, so many policies are already in place. And then we made a jail visit. We went in Calcutta, we went to a prison, and we saw how things are so different. We saw how there are so many under trials, what they're going through. So it is very important to have that link between theory and practice. So as part of these programs, there are mandatory internships. These internships are also provide credit, so they become very essential. They're very important. They will not just help students to understand how things work in practice, but they will also give you an understanding of, okay, this is what I may want to work further. This is what I may want to explore further. They may also open up your chances for employment. There are many places where you intern, and if they like your work, they may, you may just start having further conversations and explore further opportunities that you may have there. I'm just laying out the different benefits of having internships as mandatory part of these programs. Apart from this, there are clinics. Now, there are clinics, and there are also few courses which focus on research. Now, when you have clinics and when you have research related courses, you are getting an understanding of whether you want to build your career in research and academia, or whether you want to build your career something that you want to do on the field, you want to explore that. Now, it's very important to have a distinction between a normal research or a normal writing we do with academic research and academic writing. Now, in these programs, we have specific courses on academic writing where students will be taught how to research, how to read, how to write academically. Because in academic writing, how to review a policy, how to sort of critique something, it's done in a slightly different manner, and that is very important to be trained. Now, if you wait to be trained till the postgraduate level, now you might want to be at the postgraduate level competing with people who are not just in India, but globally. And they might be coming from countries where they're taught all these things right at the undergraduate level. I faced that in my own personal life. So with this program, there is an exposure to research, to writing. There's a special training given to it, which is extremely important and extremely beneficial. Now, these are undergraduate programs, and as goes with any other undergraduate program, like a 3-year BA program from any university you pick, any other subject you pick, you'll have to understand that the kind of career opportunities that you may want to have right after this degree, they are very same and similar to what you may be doing by when you would do BA from any other college or in any other subject. BA or undergraduate degree, the purpose and focus is more to educate, train, so that you're able to decide what do you want to do next. How do you want to make your career further focused and specialized in one aspect? So this is like a pathway towards your super specialization or the postgraduate degrees. Now, all of us who are there here, we have done our undergraduates, and then we also did our postgraduate, because that further enhances our career opportunities and also gives us more clarity, more expertise, as you may call it. So undergraduate degree is not your penultimate, or it's not like a terminal degree that, okay, that's it, and now you have to do a job and you have to build a career right here. There's nothing after it. No, this is just your first step in the ladder. And then you have to climb it further. You have to go for post-graduation, further specialize it. Now, at the undergraduate level, it becomes very important for you to get that clarity of what you want to do, which ladder do you want to climb. And with these programs, we have really put in efforts to give you that opportunity to have that understanding. Now, still a lot of career opportunities and different pathways are open. In fact, many are open, because it's right after the undergraduate, you can go for academia. If you choose to go for academia, you do a master's, you go for a postgraduate degree, you may join research, you may join academia. you may give civil services exams. You may, if you have done something in criminology or human rights, you may want to be a part of police or correctional services. You may want to be criminologist. You may want to work with some gender research project by United Nations. You may want to be a forensic scientist, right? There's so many NGOs that are working out there. So there's journalism, which one can pursue after this. So of course, law is also one of the options. So there are a lot of career pathways that are open. Now, after doing this 3-year degree, it's on the student to, while studying these subjects, to sort of think, reflect, and have an understanding that, okay, where do I want to go? All the doors are open. Where you want to go, that you have to decide and choose. Ample support is provided at Jindal Global Law School. There is a dedicated office that helps with career and placement. They help with the guide, and they also arrange internships. They guide for career opportunities after the degree as well. If somebody wants to pursue further studies, then there are faculties around who may help, who may give guidance. And with the exposure to world-class faculty at Jindal Global Law School, students can always go and approach them and seek guidance and get the maximum benefit out of it. Apart from these, there are several other opportunities now, be it in terms of international exposure, development of research skills, guidance from faculty members. All these will collectively help you grow academically and professionally. Now, at Jindal Global Law School, we do have certain MOUs and certain arrangements wherein students can go and get some international exposure, either in form of summer schools, or there are dual degree programs like a 2+2 undergraduate or a 3+1 masters, depending on which program you're enrolled in. And as in when you're enrolled, the like more detailed information will follow, because there is a dedicated team which is working on international collaborations as well. Now, Jindal Global University, it takes its pride in the world-class infrastructure that is offered here. Some of you might have visited the campus for a campus tour and must be already aware of the beauty of the campus. And people are tirelessly working here to make the journey fruitful for all the students. We are, of course, here to guide and assist in any manner possible. And that's why we have this session. So please feel free to ask questions. And now I think I would request Professor Dr. Srijit to say a few encouraging words, because he's the mastermind behind all these programs. Like they're excellently designed programs, and all the credit goes to him and the team.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I'll rather choose to, since Professor Anupama has explained everything in great detail, I would not prefer to give a talk, but I'll just speak for 2 minutes, and we'll try to respond to your questions. But I'm just trying to situate these courses within the larger scheme of things. We live in times which can be called as post. It could be postmodern, post-truth, post-global, post-something. That means that we live in a new world. And in a new world, what we need is new approaches and new ideas. Generally, we call this new world the global times. And you know that the Jindal Global Law School and OP Jindal Global University has global as their middle name. So our fundamental approach to things is global. Now, university, out of its deeper commitment to the global, of course, university has been there for the last 13 years. The law school has been there for the 13 years. It has climbed the ladders in terms of global rankings. We believe that we have reached a point whereby now we need to turn to our larger motto, which is a private university in public service. And in the global, what kind of public service we could give. So that means on one side, we want to be deeply committed to our motto. And on the other side, we want to honor the global perspective which we have promised to the world. The 3 BA programs, BA in gender studies, BA in criminology, and BA in human rights. These 3 programs are part of our larger turn to our own vision. So what the students who have enrolled to this program, and the students who plan to enroll to this program, and the students who contemplate about joining this program, what you should understand is that you're going to become part of that special turn which we have taken at this moment. We intend to produce human rights professionals. Well, today we do not have like dedicated professionals called the human rights. People come and work based on their call. We would like to produce human rights professionals. We would like to produce gender sensitive individuals and gender professionals. we would like to produce law and order professionals, trained and dedicated and with a deeper internalization of the values of these global times. That's what these programs are meant for. So please understand, if you opt to join for this program, you're going to have a very larger perspective at the world, and you're also going to be part of a noble vision, a noble turn which the Jindal Global Law School has of late taken. Thank you very much. I'll respond to your questions rather than giving a talk at this point. Professor Mishra, over to you.
So there are two good questions which I can see asked from the students and which actually need answers. One question is about whether LSAT score will be accepted for admission to these programs. So answer is yes. Your LSAT India test score, which is accepted for admission to other academic programs at law school, they are also accepted for admission to BA Human Rights, BA Gender Studies, and BA Criminology and Criminal Justice programs. So if you have appeared in LSAT India exam, and if you have a valid LSAT India score, that will be indeed accepted for admission. The second good question is about the books and materials you need for. So I feel there could be some students who is already admitted, and because your classes are going to start in September, you have some time. So you might be asking about books and materials. So of course, your books and materials will be provided by your faculty when you join the campus. And after 1st September, you will be actually requested to join the university. From 12th of September, if I remember correctly, the academic calendar starts for these 3 new programs, and your classes will start. So you'll be receiving a detailed mail about exact joining dates very soon, hopefully in the coming week itself, when you can exactly, but as of now, it is very clear that the students will be asked to join after 1st September. So your books and materials for these programs will be indeed provided by the university, provided by the faculty members. We have actually a large university and a very, very rich digital library. So you will have databases, journal articles. You have almost all the materials which are needed in our library itself. So you do not need to buy books or bring books from outside as of now. So that is the answer to your question. Now I will like to invite Professor Srijit to one of the questions which a student has asked about in the Criminology program internship and other aspects. So I would like you to throw some light, Professor Srijit.
Right. So the easiest reference for you, if you are keen to understand about the internships for the Criminology program, is to look at the program brochure. Our admissions team has already shared the link to the brochures. You may click there. So we have actually created what we call as an internship roadmap. Now, before that, let's have a look at what is the purpose of an internship. Well, internship is not a ritual which you have to perform at the end of every semester. If you start to do internships like that, well, you'll soon lose interest in that. You learn what you call, you learn things through theory in the classroom during the active semester. So that means you accumulate knowledge. But then for the knowledge to become truth, you have to test it. So that means that the internship provides an opportunity to test what you have learned, the knowledge you've accumulated in the domains of function. So internship provides you such an opportunity to access this domain of function, which could actually be a place where the real social production happens. So in a sense, you are playing a small role in a small social role in social production when you get an opportunity to do the internship. So you have to approach every internship very thoughtfully. Don't just get carried away by the bright opportunities. What you really need to do is to go through that internship route map, which actually is a kind of gradation list. That means that there are certain type of internships we need to do at the end of the first year. We have set those internships mindful of the subjects you learned that semester. Second semester, you might go into a little bit of advanced level because the knowledge is structured in a foundational manner. And in the second semester, what would be the appropriate type of internships at the end of the second semester? We have listed there. So there is a kind of correlation between the courses you study and the type of the internships we have described. That's why I would strongly encourage you that if at all you have an idea to do internship in a certain place, I would strongly encourage you that you discuss that with the members of the Office of the Career Service and with the program director or your assistant deans, and make certain that your choice is appropriate. So please look at internship very thoughtfully. You're being given an opportunity. It's an opportunity to test your knowledge in the domains of functions. Come back, because now you have not only the knowledge of theory, you also have the knowledge of practice, because your theories have been tested and proven right. And then you continue with your studies further. That's the way internships have to be obtained. You go through that, and if any type of internship fascinates you, immediately you have to inform the Office of the Career Services, who will bring opportunities before you. You have to utilize those opportunities. So if you need, we say the first internship shall be done in human rights think tanks, we'll give you options there out of our internship bank from which you have to choose. But in the case of placements, it's slightly different, because placement is actually the ultimate domain you are choosing where you will perform your social role. So when it comes to placements, well, again, our job is again to bring opportunities before you. It's your responsibility to prove that you possess adequate knowledge and skills to crack or to seize that opportunity and get the job, what we call an opportunity to perform the social functions.
So there is another good question. I would like Dr. Anupama to take it. It's about going to foreign universities after these courses. So what are the opportunities to study abroad, and whether it's possible? So I'd like to throw some light on this.
Yes, Professor Mishra, sure. So, of course, there are ample opportunities to go and study abroad, because in these programs, as I earlier mentioned, there are these are interdisciplinary programs. So, for example, I'll take criminology and criminal justice. So it has pedagogy, victimology, forensic sciences as different aspects of it, different subjects. Now, if you look for opportunities abroad for masters, you will see, for example, there are MA programs in criminology. You'll find some postgraduate program in forensics. You'll find some postgraduate program which is focusing on victimology and penology. So, of course, you can go and specialize and do your postgraduate graduation in that. Apart from this, even at Jindal Global Law School, as I said, there is a team which is working on international collaborations. So we are still having those conversations, and as and when you join the program, you will be given more information about these. So there's a 2+2 dual degree program wherein you do an undergraduation here as well as there, and you get a dual degree. And then also there are opportunities for 3+1 masters. So you do your undergraduation, and then there's a possibility to continue doing the master's program there. So there are the arrangements which are in conversation, and you'll be updated about them as and when you join these courses.
I think there is a question on the possibilities of gender studies. I would like to respond to that. So I said, gender studies, as I've mentioned, this kind of a program is extremely essential in the time in which we live. What we need is respect for genders. Everybody everybody may have a certain sense of gender. That gender is a social construct, whereas sex is biological. So when it comes to gender, each gender should be able to appreciate the role and importance of the other genders. Again, here by gender, that it's not the male-female binary, but rather we look at gender at large, where we have people who have identified with all types of the social roles, all type of the gender identification in the society. So mainly, the gender studies, first of all, aims to create gender-sensitive individuals. That means individuals who will have respect for the other gender. Because, this is what we need most in the society in which we live. That means to respect, because respect is going to be the key for everything. It's very easy to, lead a indisciplined life in the society. But what we need most in the society is actually respect for each other. So gender is one such a point where humanity needs to show respect for each other, because every gender is important in the social production. Because you keep one gender away, well, your social construction or the social process always remains incomplete. Second is gender professionals. Now here you need certain specific qualities to become a gender professional. So you will be working as a diversity officer in a university. You will be working as a gender officer in an institution, because institutions are also today thinking at large that, you know, we need to have a gender sensitive environment where every people who identify with all the genders, they feel respected. Because as I've said, respect is the key. Mutual respect is the key of our modern societies, which is the foundation on which our societies are built. So what we need in this society is also professionals who have completely internalized not only the need to respect all genders, but also, you know, that they possess the essential skills to establish an ecosystem in which the genders will find, you know, not only respect, but also the opportunities to fulfill their respective social goals. Then only our social process will be complete. So this program aims to create, number one, gender sensitive individuals, and number two, gender professionals. So that's why, as Professor Anupama mentioned, we offer very unique courses like gender and social work. We often try to create these intersections, gender and human rights, because you need to understand that how a human rights professional needs to be sensitive about the gender, so that, you know, through gender equality, through gender sensitivity, you ultimately achieve human rights. Gender and constitution, to what extent gender equality is guaranteed by the Constitution of India. So we try to set this disciplinary intersectionality through which you get a holistic approach to the gender. So all I'm saying is that we live in a society where, you know, we are all seen as beings participating in a social production. Primarily what we need is respect. Respect is not just on the gender level, but respect for each other, respect for somebody's unique position, respect for those who belong to vulnerable position, because, you know, vulnerability, privilege, they're all social constructs. So what we need is that respect for whoever we are. That's the core of the society. And indeed, all these programs ultimately focus on that. But with gender, be it gender studies, it has a specific focus on building this basic value of respect in the society.
So there is an interesting question, Dean, which I would like to take. A student has asked whether there will be opportunity in government jobs if I study criminology and criminal justice degree. So I like to tell you, if you look at the government jobs, if you mean the officers who are selected through the Union Public Service Commission UPSC exam, or the State Public Service Commission, the state PCS exams. The beauty of a 3-year BA degree is if you join in, say, year 2022, this year, you graduate in 25. In 3 years, you get your BA honors degree. And after your BA honors degree, you become eligible to almost all type of government jobs and opportunities which government organizations open for young graduates, because you are a graduate after 3 years, and generally a graduate degree is requirement for most of the government job opportunities. Now, when it comes to job opportunity for criminologists or those having a specialized study of criminology, you of course have to go for a master's. A bachelor's degree may not suffice. So in our country, we have dedicated institutions. There is a National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science in Delhi. There is a Forensic Science University also today in Gujarat. And then there are institutions around the world. These streams have not developed much in our country, but if you look at, say, the universities in the US or UK or Canada or Australia, there are a large number of institutions having premier centers in these fields. And you will certainly get an opportunity to do masters or even PhD research in these fields, and you can secure opportunities in government, non-government, or even international careers in other countries. So that is what my answer to your question is.
I'll just supplement to that a little bit. So it's a specific question about getting a government job after BA Criminology. So government jobs, let me try to provide some thought into that. So every state is run by a system, and government is such a system. But government is not the only one which runs the system. Many times, you know, that government also takes the help of the non-governmental sectors to participate in that. You could call it private or non-governmental, whatever be. So it's a collective effort ultimately. So what you call as a government job is actually an opportunity to be within the system. You function within the system, you function from outside the system. Either way, you complement each other. And you ultimately contribute to the social process. So government job means an opportunity to work inside the system. Now you need to possess certain qualities and certain skills in order to work with the government, and also certain sensibilities in order to work with the government. The same you need actually to work with the non-governmental sector also. It's not that government sector alone requires skills, sensibilities, and certain competencies. So what you need to first of all understand is that what is the competency which I really require? Number one, if you work with the government, you need to be deeply committed to the people. You have to understand that you got a government job not for you. You got a government job because you have been given an opportunity to be part of a system to serve the people. You have to ask this question: do I have adequate sensitivity towards the people? Whether people matters to me or something else. If people matters to you more than anything, if people matter to you more than anything, then you actually need to think about a government job, because government job will give you an opportunity to directly commit yourself for the people. But if you feel that you cannot commit yourself to the people, then you shouldn't be in a government position, because you are in the wrong place. Now with the private sector, the problem is that private sector, there are many actors, not like the government. There are many private actors providing the same kind of service. You are placed in the midst of competition. You need to be super skilled here to survive in a private sector, because it's a competitive sector. The best one service will be taken by the people, unlike the government. But whatsoever, that there are proper allocation of functions as well. I'm not getting into all that. But to ask the question whether BA Criminology will give me a government job or not, you need to ask this question: whether in order to get into the police service, or in order to become a criminologist in a government department, in order to work with a forensic lab, in order to be a detective with the government, do I have the adequate sensitivity towards the people? Am I willing to serve the people, or am I simply driven by our motives? Well, if it's the latter, well, don't take up a government job. But if you feel that it's the people for whom you would like to dedicate your life, you should go for a government job. Now, I mentioned every degree program is a qualifier. Qualifier in the sense now that they will make you eligible to write a public service commission test. That's not what I mean. Qualifier means that they give you certain maturity. They give you a worldview. They give you a competency to work for the people. Because having a graduation means that you have certain foundational knowledge to perform certain social function. With that, you have to go. So with criminology, indeed, as I said, with every degree program, there are opportunities, but with criminology, yes, you possess certain special skills, because you are now going to become what we call a law and order professional. You could be a good police officer, but you could be a good criminologist, because we do have so many government institutions today employing criminologists. You could be a good victimologist, because victimologists are very much needed when we talk about system reforms, when we talk about the reformation of prisoners, when we talk about rehabilitating the survivors, because the social equilibrium has to be reinstated. So you can be a good victimologist, you can be a good criminologist, you could become a fantastic detective, that, public or private. You could be a police officer who have largely internalized not only the law and order system, but also, you have now the skills essential to become a law and order professional. So it's a large domain whereby, you would be performing what we call as law and order functions as a law and order professional. That's the scope of criminology. I try to provide more thought than information, because as an undergraduate student, what you need is thought, and not actually think about what will happen to me after 3 years, because you are going to get transformed substantially during these 3 years. It's your own self-becoming. You will be a much different individual at the end of the 3 years, and probably your choices would be different. But if your choices remain this, yes, you will have by then adequate knowledge and skills to become a law and order professional.
So that's great, Professor Srijit. What I will like to, tell something very general to the students, that in our times, the option to do a BA in humanities or social sciences was limited to, say, a BA in economics, or BA in philosophy, or BA in political science, or BA in history, or BA in, say, languages, BA in English or Hindi or some other language. But today, I will say, from these traditional courses, the academic curriculum is moving towards multidisciplinary courses. And these programs are truly multidisciplinary programs. If you look at studying criminology and criminal justice, you are not just studying a particular discipline, but you are combining a lot of other disciplines. You are combining, say, psychology. You are also doing a bit of philosophy, maybe a bit of academic writing, research. You are even doing criminal law. You are studying diverse disciplines and developing yourself as a professional. So I think for students who are looking for professional opportunities vis-a-vis any traditional BA honors degree, these multidisciplinary degrees in your area of interest are certainly going to be a superior choice. There was one more question which I think we have not answered.
There's a question on elective courses. I've noticed there's a question about elective courses. Yes, I would like to respond to that. Yes, you will have an opportunity definitely to take elective courses. All three programs are designed in a threefold manner. One, you have your core courses, then you have your honors courses, and third, you have elective courses. Core courses means those courses which will give you a foundational understanding of your discipline. Honors courses means super specializations within your respective program. Like for BA, super specialized human rights courses. For BA Criminology, super specialized criminology courses. And for gender studies, super specialized gender-related courses. And then comes electives. So electives are generally meant for upskilling. That means you have already learned things now. You have foundation. You have also specialized in knowledge. Now you need to upskill yourself. So you have to decide which type of courses out of that many courses, like 150 courses offered by the law school, which would give you that upskilling. But the easier way to make this decision is that if a certain course is not meant for you, you will see that the professor teaching the course would have set a prerequisite. That means that if there is a course which needs a law degree or which needs a substantial understanding of law, what we call legal imagination, then of course that you won't be able to take that course. You will find that there is a prerequisite. You will not bid that course. But a course like, yes, United Nations law, or maybe a course like international courts and tribunals, in which the instructor may be dealing with UN Human Rights Commission or National Human Rights Commissions. In such a case, obviously, the instructor might have specified that, well, this course is also open for the students of BA Human Rights or BA Gender Studies or BA Criminology, depending on a case-to-case basis. So yes, from your second semester, from your fourth semester onwards, you will have an opportunity to take elective courses. In the course structure, it would have mentioned elective number 1, BA Human Rights, elective number 2, BA Human Rights, elective number 3, BA Human Rights. That means it's just an open basket. You can fill the basket with an elective which is most appropriate for you, but most appropriate for you based on your program. Not like, don't just try to enroll in a course on constitution drafting, which probably may not be meant for somebody who's teaching in BA Criminology. A commercial contract drafting may not be suited for somebody who's studying gender studies. So, but our systems work in a way that you would also be able to make that rational and appropriate choice for you. Professor Mishra?
So I think we have covered all the questions which students have asked, and we have even posted the detailed brochure of these 3 programs. The session is almost coming to the end, but I would like to tell all the students that the campus has opened, and these programs which are going to start in September, the admission process is on. So it's your time to explore more, to read more about it, and even complete your application process, participate in the admission process, be a part of it. I can only I have seen students graduating in criminology from Monash University in Australia and other parts of the world and coming to Jindal to study 3-year LLB program. And today I feel so proud that we have a criminology class which is already ready to join, and who are going to now, after their first degree, studying in campuses in Australia or around the world. So it's a great beginning. I will like to invite all the students who attended this session to our campus in Sonipat and be a part of the class, explore the program more, and also visit the university with your parents, with your families. You are most welcome to be a part of JGLS, be a part of Jindal Global Law School. And thank you, Professor Srijit, Professor Anupama for being part of it, and other colleagues for organizing it. We look forward to more sessions like this, and maybe individually on each programs, one on human rights, one on gender, one on criminology only. So that will be even more helpful for students who are focusing on one particular program, what I realized. So have a great evening ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.